So you're relaxing with some friends. Relaxing with some friends. And one of your friends has a little tab of paper in his hand and says, hey, you should try this. And you say, what is that? And you just put it on your tongue and try it. So you do what you're told, put it on your tongue and try it. You guys are watching TV. The next thing you know, colors are starting to look pretty good. Everything's turned pretty nicely. A few minutes later, wow, everything's looking really nice. You know? Last thing you know, it's the best thing in the world. You're hearing colors and seeing sounds. You know, nothing can get better. You're probably taking lysergic acid diethylmide, otherwise known as LSD. LSD is a drug known as acid. It's a hallucinogen. It's known to open your mind. In his biography of Francis Crick, Matt Ridley wrote about Francis Crick, the discoverer of the genetic code. Francis Crick used LSD to expand his mind so he can make his double helix structure of the DNA. This is a Nobel winning prize structure. It's pretty crazy. You know, it's some good stuff. I'm going to talk to you guys about the psychological effects of LSD, the side effects, and medical research used with LSD. Psychological effects, known as hallucinating or tripping, ego death, time distortion, and warping of vision. The Columbia Electronic Encyclopedia 6th edition says LSD is an hallucinogen that's known to warp your vision, warp your sense of time, warp your perception, and just allow you to see things that are not there. Drugfree.org says users are allowed to cross over into a different world, to hear colors or see sounds. Drugforums.com lets their users explain their trips to other users. One said he let him explore his inner self, seeing what is deep inside him. Another said he was allowed to come close to the natural world, to be able to envision what Mother Earth herself looks like. While a third user said he could see a whole new world. He was transported outside his mind. To get back onto Francis Crick, who used LSD to discover the DNA molecule, well, this is what he discovered. For the longest time, they couldn't connect what it looked like. They couldn't make a 3D replication, and it was very hard. And after experimenting with LSD, he was thinking about this on his trip, and he envisioned what you see before you. Next, we can take a trip onto the side effects. With every good drug comes consequences. You can't say something and just think, you know, there's nothing bad going to happen to you. We have the short-term side effects of restlessness, acute anxiety, and mood swings. The Sunshine Coast Health Center noted that LSD is noted for their mood swings, unclear thinking, impaired judgment. And that's where a lot of the problems happen. The impaired judgment, that's where you have someone wandering around on acid, not knowing what's going to happen. He could get hit by a car. You know, things happen. The long-term side effects risk of bringing psychological problems forward. Hallucinogen, persisting perception disorders, otherwise known as flashbacks of the trips you had, psychosis disorders, and depression. Henry David Abraham and his partner Andre Aldridge wrote in their book Addiction that using LSD can have serious long-term side effects, such as schizoaffective psychosis, HPPD, otherwise known as the flashbacks that can last up to 5 years after your trip, crazy panic attacks, and depression. Long-term serious depression. A.R. Green wrote in his studies that it could bring forward borderline psychosis disorders. This is if you had borderline schizophrenia or underlying psychosis disorders, after taking LSD, it is noted that some people, the users, become schizophrenics, need psychotherapy, some serious, pretty serious stuff. The last thing I want to talk about is the research. LSD has been used in a lot of medical studies since the 70s when it was put out there into the media. We have the use in psychotherapy, curing alcoholism, helping ease serious pains caused by major traumas such as car accidents, cancer, tumors, and use for chronic headaches. In her book, Paula Kurzweil wrote in the book Medical Possibilities for Psychedelic Drugs that LSD can be used to cure drug addictions, alcohol addictions, and discover how the human brain works. LSD allows us to look at how the human brain reacts to different chemicals, especially under the influence of something so extreme. The University of Bari, Italy, tried to do an experiment using LSD to cure autism. Even though they were not successful in curing autism, they discovered that autistic users, compared to non-autistic users, found that the mood swings and their reactions were completely different. Javier Gonzalez Mesa wrote in his books Psychedelics and Schizophrenia that a borderline schizophrenic normal person tries LSD, afterwards has serious schizophrenic problems and has to be put into therapy. In the Scandinavian Journal of Clinical and Lab Investigations, they used LSD to cure carcinoid tumors. They did not cure or take away the tumor completely, but they did notice a reduced size in the tumor, and it was pretty groundbreaking research. I'd like to conclude with, you saw the effects that it does on your brain, the consequences after taking LSD, and the medical studies such as trying to cure alcoholism, drug addiction, even autism. But I hope this sheds some light on you that if you think about exploring new worlds, seeing crazy visions, just trying to get some inspiration for some art, just taking a crazy trip with a Mad Hatter, you'll look to our friend LSD.